In the quiet village of Udi, there was a woman named Mama Abu. She was known for her wisdom, her kind heart, and her unique gift for weaving beautiful clothes that shimmered like the morning sun. But there was something very special about one thread she used, a golden thread. It was said to have magical powers, and no one knew where Mama Abu had gotten it. She never spoke of it, and the villagers respected her enough not to ask. One day, a young girl named Zara, who lived just down the road from Mama Abu, was sent by her mother to deliver food to her. Zara was a curious girl, always asking questions and eager to learn new things. As she entered Mama Abu's hut, she saw her weaving a cloth on her loom, and in the center of the cloth was the golden thread. The thread sparkled like sunlight, catching Zara's attention immediately. "Mama Abu," Zara asked, her eyes wide with wonder, "where did you get that beautiful thread?" Mama Abu looked up from her work and smiled softly, but her eyes were serious. "Oh, Zara, my dear child. This thread is not like any other. It is very special, and it carries great power. But it is not something to be used lightly." Zara's curiosity grew stronger. "What kind of power does it have?" Mama Abu sighed, setting aside her work. "The golden thread can change someone's fate. It can bring great joy or great sorrow, depending on how it is used. But the most important thing to know is that once it is woven into a cloth, it cannot be removed. Its magic will take its course, and no one can predict where it will lead." Zara nodded, fascinated but also a little frightened by Mama Abu's words. She thanked her for the lesson and returned home, the image of the golden thread still dancing in her mind. Days passed, and Zara couldn't stop thinking about the golden thread. She wondered what it would feel like to have such power, to change fate itself. She imagined what she could do for her family. Her father was a hard-working farmer, but they often struggled to make ends meet. If only she could use the golden thread, maybe she could bring them fortune and happiness. One evening, Zara decided to visit Mama Abu again. The sun was setting, and the sky was painted with shades of orange and pink as she walked the familiar path to the woman's hut. When she arrived, she found the door slightly open, and inside, Mama Abu was nowhere to be seen. The loom, however, stood in the corner, and there, hanging from it was the golden thread. Zara knew she shouldn't touch it. Mama Abu had warned her about its power, but the temptation was too great. She stepped closer, her heart pounding in her chest. Her fingers itched to reach out and feel the thread, to weave it into something beautiful, something magical. Before she knew it, Zara's hand was on the golden thread. She pulled it from the loom, her breath catching as it shimmered in her hands. "Just a little," she whispered to herself. "I'll weave just a small piece for my family." Zara carefully wound the thread into her own simple loom at home, working late into the night as the moon shone through the window. She wove and wove, creating a small, delicate cloth, the golden thread gleaming brightly against the plain fabric. As soon as she finished, something strange happened. The cloth glowed for a moment, and then the light faded, leaving the thread shining like a tiny sun. Zara felt a rush of excitement and fear. What would happen now? Would her family's fortune change overnight? The next morning, as Zara's father went to work on the farm, he discovered something incredible. The land, which had been dry and difficult to cultivate, was now rich and fertile. Crops sprang up everywhere, tall and healthy, and the fruit trees were heavy with ripe fruit. The entire village marveled at the miracle, and Zara's family was suddenly the center of attention. "We've been blessed," her father exclaimed, his eyes wide with joy. "This land is a gift from the gods." But Zara knew the truth. It wasn't the gods, it was the golden thread. She had used its magic, and now her family was wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. At first, everything seemed perfect. The family no longer struggled, and they were respected by everyone in the village. But soon, things began to change. With their newfound wealth, Zara's father became obsessed with the farm, working day and night to expand it. He wanted more crops, more land, and more success. He hired workers and even bought more land from neighboring villages. The once small, close-knit family now found themselves surrounded by strangers and greed. Nena's mother, once kind and gentle, became proud and distant. She hosted lavish feasts for the village elders, showing off their wealth, and spent her days boasting about their good fortune. Zara's siblings, too, were affected. Her older brother became lazy, no longer interested in helping with the farm or contributing to the family's success. Her younger sister, who used to play with Zara every day, became spoiled, demanding new clothes and gifts all the time. Zara watched in horror as her family fell apart. The golden thread, which had seemed like a blessing, was now tearing them apart. She had only wanted to help her family, but instead, she had brought greed, pride, and division into their lives. One night, unable to sleep, Zara went to Mama Abu's hut to confess what she had done. She found her sitting by the fire, her wise eyes already knowing what Zara had come to say. "You used the golden thread, didn't you?" Mama Abu said softly. Zara nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry, Mama. I thought I was helping my family, but now everything is falling apart. I don't know what to do." Mama Abu sighed deeply, her voice filled with both sorrow and understanding. "The golden thread is powerful, Zara. It does not simply bring wealth or happiness, it reveals what is already in people's hearts. Your family's true nature has come to light, and that is the magic of the thread." "But can't I fix it?" Zara pleaded. "Can't I undo what I've done?" Mama Abu shook her head slowly. "The magic cannot be undone. But there is still hope, Zara. You cannot change the past, but you can guide your family back to what truly matters. It will not be easy, but you must remind them of the love and unity you once shared." Zara left Mama Abu's hut that night, determined to set things right. Over the next few weeks, she spoke to each member of her family, reminding them of the simple life they once led. She helped her father see that their wealth didn't make them better people and that the land was meant to be shared, not hoarded. She encouraged her mother to stop seeking the approval of others and to focus on the happiness of their family. She worked with her brother to restore his sense of responsibility, and she gently taught her younger sister that material things weren't what brought true joy. It took time, but eventually, Zara's family began to change. They became kinder, more generous, and less obsessed with wealth. They remembered what was truly important: love, unity, and the happiness that comes from being together. The golden thread had revealed their weaknesses, but it had also given them the chance to grow. The lesson Zara learned was clear: power, whether magical or not, should never be taken lightly. Greed and pride can tear apart even the strongest of families, but love and understanding can heal any wound. The golden thread had shown Zara and her family that true wealth comes not from riches, but from the heart. And so, the village of Udi continued to thrive, not because of magic, but because of the strength and wisdom of a young girl who had learned the true meaning of family. Moral of the story: true wealth is not found in material things but in love, kindness, and unity. Power should be used wisely, as it can reveal both the good and bad in people. Greed and pride can destroy, but love and understanding can heal and bring people together.